What is going on, y'all? This is Chris Saunders, aka CSProductions.29. You are loved, you are valued, and you are appreciated. I'm excited for this one because we are checking out the making of Hand of God by Jon Bellion. We've checked out a couple songs by him, Guillotine, Adult Swim, and then we've also checked out the making of the Guillotine by Jon Bellion. That was 2 parts. I'll be sure to have that linked in the description down below. Be sure to check out those videos if you haven't seen it. If you are new to the channel, I just want to say thank you so much for the love and support. I just greatly appreciate it. And why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed already, as well as the bell notification so you don't miss a video in the future. But we are checking out the making of Hand of God. Haven't decided if we're going to do part 1, part 2, similarly to the Guillotine. It just depends on how long this video is. Just realized it is almost 12:40 in the morning or at night. It is late, but hey, that's just how it's been. Only time to record these and keep them going. So without further ado, let's check out the making of Hand of God by Jon Bellion. Excited for this.
Hi, buddy.
On the West Coast.
How are you, dude? Good to see you, man.
It's shaking up good, man.
Can I see?
Yeah, take a look. I'm going to be in the second lap, but these are all the parts of the pie.
Oh my gosh. Great to meet you, John. Great to meet you. How are you?
Hi, Mark.
Great to meet you.
What up?
Good house right now.
So the choir's upstairs?
Yeah, they're coming down right now.
Just want to express to you guys how appreciative and how amazing it is that we get to come together and kind of make music despite anything that's going on in the world right now. Everybody gets to come and just work to do.
Hey, when is this? Let me see. When was this produced? It was released May 5th, 2020. Is it? Surely this isn't that new. No, this is because the Hand of God's been out for a while. The Hand of God was on what is it? The Human Condition album, I believe is the name. And so that was, I know that was a few years ago. I'd imagine this is probably, I don't know. Y'all help me out. When was this actually released? It wasn't released this soon because, I was going to say the line he said of despite everything going on in the world, like a lot's happened in 2020, right? And so if this was released May 5th, maybe this was, there's no way. The timeline is not adding up. Help me out with the timeline here. Because I feel like what he said there, whatever year this is, could also correlate with 2020. But I feel like there's no way this is 2020, or like at the beginning of 2020.
Despite anything that's going on in the world right now, everybody gets to come and just work to do something that everybody loves, and that's music, and that's an incredible thing. So I just want to introduce myself to you and just thank you guys from the bottom. I'm getting emotional right now. From the bottom of my heart, just like thank you very much for even participating in this today. I really appreciate it.
There's a special place and there's like a special moment where everyone's working at the edge of their ability, and I think that's where like real magic happens, and everyone was at that edge the whole time, and it's just like right before you're about to fall off, and like there was no moment where there was any judgment on anybody, so you could mess up. And when we did, sometimes that led to like amazing stuff. Like there's a mystique about the producer, about the songwriter. I write hits, I do this, I do that. When that all falls down, you can be honest with someone and you can all connect on a vision and work at that edge of your ability. Really amazing things happen, and that's what happened on this album.
Yeah. Maybe they're doing it kind of like a little bit of a documentary, going from like the year 2020, if this was recorded this year, to some of the shots and scenes from back when this was recorded.
Pretty Zoo arrangement. It's September 17th. We are recording gang vocals for Hand of God by Sir Jon Bellion.
What do you have to say about that?
I got nothing to say.
That pocket though. People gonna freak out. Look it up with some verb on it, something.
And then on down to the four.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Just a beat master.
When you're lost in the universe, don't lose faith. My mother says your whole life's in the hand of God.
Play it one more time, the last 4 bars right into the hand of God. Yank it right there. So let that ring for just a little bit.
Let's practice it again. 2, 3.
Tears at a funeral, I might break.
There we go. Hey.
Angry at all the things I can't change. When you're lost in the universe, don't lose faith. My mother says your whole life's in the hand of God.
Like, yo, just like whatever it is that's divine that we can't explain, there are elements that come together with projects where you just can't explain how they work, but they just work. And that's really the telltale sign of how far ahead it is, man.
The tone in which we're speaking wouldn't behoove us to put out what we're talking about right now before the album drops, because it's almost like we're like, this is so. But put this in the bank. Like, whatever you guys save this and listen to these words that are being spoken right now, this album hasn't come out yet. And listen to the tone that we're speaking about it with, because that's what I really feel this project's gonna do.
It said, put this in the bank, and then it said, that's why it took so long. So maybe this did come actually come out years after this song. Okay.
No, not the root, just below. Noise.
No.
No, you're going up to noise. I'm saying noise.
No. But her no noise.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed, he is the same. Nothing has changed, he is the same.
It's a lot of different things that kind of make the album special. It's the vision on, a big picture level, but also like the execution of it and dedication to that vision, both on having a cohesive album, but also something that was forward thinking and not, just the same old like typical production, while still centered around like really amazing songwriting that I feel like anybody can connect to regardless of knowledge of music, but at the same time it still excites a lot of those learned musicians, people who are looking for something more within music.
Some petite claps at the end.
Golf clap.
That is a album.
Pick a favorite, and I literally couldn't. Couldn't.
Yo, I'm telling you, I swear to God, I'm gonna cry if I hear Hand to God, like, one more time.
On the album, as far as records I feel okay about, but besides that, I think this is the track listing. I don't think this should change in any way.
Even in the pockets that you have that like are so hitting so hard, so crispy over a nice natural pop melody, You know what I mean? Like that juxtaposition is so crazy of like.
That is one thing I've noticed where like Jon Bellion's so talented at just capturing and finding those really catchy pop melodies and things like that, but then thinking outside of the box of not just utilizing that to create a hit, right? But then also coming up with all these different elements from just crazy masterful, just vibrant but vintage beats and drums and tones, and mixing in the beatboxing and scatting and the vocals and things like that, where it's just like really completes the picture.
Having those worlds like combined and creating this thing that sounds natural and organic. And a lot of people, because they follow that rule of like quantization, you can't get that.
Oh man, take them all chunks as 3, left, right, middle.
Okay.
Throw some verb on it, and then just map out each section. And let me get a little bit tighter on the MPC. I'll play it out.
Bring those drums in.
Breaking with rest, or do you
think it would be more of a staccato thing or more of a legato thing? Yeah, continue like singing. Just
not like that.
Less concentration on the la la. It's not so la. It's just la. Fall into that pocket. Just really listen to where the strings are. Don't go on top of it. Just like the 80s films, will hook up in my backseat and let my best friend drive. And is it my drive? I need that last drive. Is it in the or in my backseat?
In the backseat. In the backseat.
In my sounds better.
Yeah, I mean it's up to you. In the could be any car. Mine means your car. Your best friend's driving your car.
Just say in the. Shit, that's gonna piss me off. Almost like Phil Collins' 80s, like that major chord progression like moment where everybody loves that melody.
Perfect.
I realized, me specifically as a lyricist, I have to. I guess you have to dumb it down a little bit, just so that they can just understand it in one sitting and not have to want to go back.
It gets better when you do it that way, because it becomes more of a thing where you've reached a point where you're not compromising your artistic integrity, but you're still making what you want, and it's still grabbing everybody.
Like you're being more specific and precise about the way that you're gonna put your material out by conserving what you are, but still giving people what.
Dumbing it down.
That's a craft in and of itself.
It is. Yeah.
Like that's a new. It's. Yeah.
The phrase "dumb it down" is the wrong phrase, because that adds a connotation of less thought.
Yes.
And that's not true.
Trust me, the hardest writing I've ever done in my life is trying to make something very simple.
Yeah.
It's like you could go off all day and write the most complex, out this world, like, but try to say one thought that you have in one line.
Yeah.
That is true. I mean, it goes both ways. You can take that into business, into work, whatever the case may be. I think one thing that comes to mind is just really being concise is in artistry, right? There are times where I'll just ramble on, right? Or I'll sometimes be watching back these videos and I'm like, man, you could have cut that thought off, 20 seconds ago. But I think that's part of just the beauty of a first reaction, right? And so I think that's so true. There is an artistry, one, in just from a musicality standpoint of like true lyricist and penmanship, where things are just so intertwined and there's so much going on, and there's a level of complexity that's really hard to grasp unless you really understand the artist and where they're going. But that can go over a lot of people's heads. And so there is another level of talent and artistry when it comes to just being really concise and being able to display your message in a more simplistic way while still having that in-tune depth in which you're trying to convey to the consumer, to the people listening. So that's so true.
One thought that you have in one line.
Yeah.
Push me down the Hudson and turn on the radio. Long Island's owner smiling because my soul is fine. I did everything for New York. Lay me down in Brooklyn if I lose my life. Push me down the Hudson and turn on the radio. The radio. Long Island's owner smiling because my soul is fine.
Nice.
So, my head spins, I've been sipping lately.
He writes amazing songs that appeal to people on an emotional level, but also does things that will have every musician kind of jealous and wishing that they thought of it first.
I've been looking lately. All these nights they could finish me off. Cooking me. All these nights cooking me raw. Said tears at a funeral, I might break. Angry at all the things I can't change. Your whole life's just in the head.
And kind of touch on the lyrics really quickly. Somebody commented on the last video of the making of how it would have just like driven them crazy the way. I think he said he doesn't do music, but he writes poetry and poems, right? And just the way his brain works of just like having to sit there and think through entirely, like to complete the thought, to complete the poem, to complete the lyrics, to complete the song, and then piece it together with just the music piece. Whereas Jon Bellion, it kind of seems like could be a combination of both, but it kind of seems like he's backwards in the sense of where he'll come up with these beats, these melodies, and things like this, jam out with folks, and then as he's like hearing the music there, then it's like the lyrics just begin to kind of flow out of him, or he has a thought on the direction where he wants to go with the song, and the beat and the melody kind of flows from there, but then all of a sudden the lyrics just kind of, as we've seen again, they just kind of start flowing and piece together, which is really cool to me.
And then, whole life's in the hand of. Give me the comment on that again. Yep, when I'm coming in.
Okay.
My break. Angry at all the things I could not say.
No, it's sloppy. Let me do it again.
It just sounds like this grand thing, and you're behind like a choir, you're behind, the strings are behind you, everything sounds so epic, and it's like you just keep doing what you do, be confident in what you do, you got it already, you do this,
These people in here.
Thank you, oh man. They make you sound good, even when you don't know what the fuck you're doing in the studio in the first place. That's how I be feeling.
We're gonna just get your levels right for a second. Just give us 1 sec.
Alright. I'm really excited about it, man. Because I remember how John used to make me sound recording in his closet.
Lost in the universe, lost in the universe. I keep fucking up this line. Don't lose faith. Your whole life's in the hand of God. Can y'all give it to me one more time? Whole life's in the hand of God. Tears at a funeral, I might break. Angry at all the things I can't change. When you're lost in the universe, don't lose faith. My mother says, your whole life's in the hand of God.
So you're just gonna riff into that, or however high you can go. That's the last time. And the rest will just be kind of cruise out. Play it.
Hey,
So close.
No, it's so fucking close. Like,
You're so close.
oh, so close.
As far as, I'm just talking musically. If you enjoy music and you appreciate all different genres, appreciate music for the craftsmanship of it, there's not much more.
Yo, I love it. I love it. I love seeing these pictures of just like behind the scenes. And I think one thing that was cool about that is like, there are probably so many more times where, well, there are, where just things are done over and over and over and over and over again until it's just like, it's perfect. That's the vision. That's the vision I had in my head. That's the sound I was going for. And then also just from the standpoint where like people make mistakes, right? And so people don't get it right the first time and are still figuring things out and ideating and just really working to create this fine-tuned craft. So it's just, I love seeing these behind the scenes and the making of. We're gonna dive into more of just kind of the making of or behind the scenes on other videos and other songs that we've been doing on the channel, whether it's just other artists, Blackpink, I believe some people said Taylor Swift may have a few as well. And so just absolutely love this. If you haven't checked out the song, one, be sure to check out Jon Bellion's song, as well as the album, but also the reaction video to The Hand of God by Jon Bellion. I'll have it linked in the description down below. Absolutely loved it. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave some comments down below. Is this your first time checking this video out? Have you heard the song The Hand of God by Jon Bellion? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's have a conversation. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video in the future. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.